Next topic is there. This is the percentage composition, empirical formula and molecular formula. Now first of all I will be discuss with you about the percentage composition, that meaning mass percentage, or I will be discuss about this mass percentage, mass percentage कि what is a mass percentage. So very simple, there is the mass of each element expressed as the percentage of the total mass, that meaning mass of each element expressed as the percentage of the total mass, as percentage of the total mass. So from the numerical that will be more clear. Like I'm having an example, and the example is this कि calculate the percent of each element in sodium sulfate. Calculate the percentage of each element in sodium sulfate. This is Na2SO4. That meaning I want to tell the percentage of each element. First of all, which element are there? Sodium, sulfur, oxygen. So I want to tell the percentage of all three elements in the given compound. So if I will be asked the question to you people, in marks, suppose you are getting out of 25 20 marks. So how to find out the percentage? How to find out the percentage? Very simple. Whatever marks you are secure upon total mass multiply 100, you are secure the percentage. This is the way. The same way is there. If I want to find out the mass of each element, a mass percentage, then the mass of the element whose percentage I want to find divided by the total mass of that substance multiply 100. So that will be the way to find out the mass percentage. Same here, with which element are there? If I will discuss, the element is there sodium, sulfur and oxygen. These elements are there, and whose mass percentage or whose percentage I want to find. So how many atom of sodium is available here? 2 atom of sodium, 1 atom of sulfur and 4 atom of oxygen that is available. So what is the mass of sodium in sodium sulfate? If you will find out the molar mass of sodium sulfate, so molar mass of Na2SO4, what will be there? 2 multiply mass of sodium is 23 plus 32, this is the mass of sulfur, plus 4 multiply mass of oxygen is 16, this is 46 plus 32 plus 64, add it, 4 to 6 or 6 12 to carry 1, 6 or 3 9 or 1 10 or 4 14. So 142 gram, this is the total mass of sodium sulfate. This is now the percentage of sodium. So you check out ki what is the mass of sodium in sodium sulfate. This is 2 into 23, that meaning 46. So the mass of sodium upon the total mass. What is the total mass of sodium sulfate? This is 142. To find out the percentage, multiply by 100. So very simple. You have to solve it. You get the answer. If you will solve it, then you are getting approximately 32 point something. This is 32.39%. Same if you want to find the percent of sulfur. So what is the mass of sulfur here? 32. This is 32. Total mass remains 142. Multiply 100. Solve it. You get it the percentage. Same if you want to find out for oxygen. So percentage of oxygen. This is the mass of oxygen is 64. This is 64. upon total mass is 142 multiply 100, solve it, you're getting the percentage. So this is very simple way by which we can find out the percentage of the particular element whatever they has given us in the compound. So I hope easily you have understand, there is a no problem. Now I'm going with you the next topic. The next topic is their empirical formula and molecular formula. That is the important one. Empirical formula and molecular formula. Empirical formula and molecular formula. So first of all, though, generally I want to discuss with you ki what is a empirical formula. What is a empirical formula? Empirical formula. So simply if I will say, empirical formula is the simple whole number ratio of the atom of the element present in one molecule of the compound. That meaning simple whole number ratio of atoms present in one molecule of the compound. One molecule of the compound. The main point is their simple whole number ratio. This is the main point. Like suppose I will be discuss the molecular formula of acetic acid. So everyone knows about the molecular formula of acetic acid. This is CH3COOH. This is, so if you want to find out the empirical formula, so how to find out? You can check out how many elements are there. One carbon is available here, hydrogen are available here, and oxygen are available here. So how many carbon atom are available here? 1, 2. This is 2. How many hydrogen? 3 or 1? 4. How many for oxygen? 2. If you want to find out the empirical formula EF, so you have to make it the simple whole number ratio. So you have to convert into a simple whole number ratio. So how? This is 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2. This is 1:2:1. That meaning C1 we will not, H2, and this is O. So the empirical formula is there, CH2O of acetic acid. So this is the simple whole number ratio, CH2O. That is the same if you want to go for the others. So easily you can find out the empirical formula. Like suppose I'm going for benzene. So what is the formula of benzene? Its formula is C6H6. This is, so which elements are available here? Carbon and hydrogen. How many? 6 and 6. Their simple ratio is coming what? 1:1. So the empirical formula is what? CH. This is the empirical formula of benzene. So as it is, you can go for hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide. The formula of hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. This is for hydrogen and oxygen. How many atoms of hydrogen? 2. Oxygen 2. Simple ratio is 1:1. This is H1O1. So I can say the empirical formula of hydrogen peroxide is HO. So that is a simple way by which we can find out the empirical formula. Now what is the molecular formula? the formula which give the actual number of atoms of elements present in one molecule of the compound. Keep in your mind, empirical formula will the simple whole number ratio, and the molecular formula is what? Which will give us the actual number of atoms. That meaning actual number of atoms, that will be indicate the molecular formula. Molecular formula, that meaning the compound which will be give us the actual number of atoms which are present in a compound, that will be indicate its molecular formula. Like I have discussed with you the acetic acid, this is the actual number, that meaning the actual number of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So this is the molecular formula, and empirical formula is the simple whole number ratio of the atoms which are present in the molecular formula. So whatever atoms are present here, that I have discussed with you. So I hope easily you are able to do about the empirical formula and molecular formula. Now I will be discuss with you what are the questions in which we are going to solve the find out the empirical formula and molecular formula related to the percentage composition. Related to the percentage composition. Now that is like suppose we have suppose the formula is there, whatever I have question is there, that is suppose one there is given one question like the molecular mass of an organic compound is 78. They are given us in question the molecular mass of an organic compound is 78. Of an organic compound is 78. They are giving us the molecular mass, okay, and its percentage composition is 92.4% carbon, 92.4% carbon, and 7.6% hydrogen, and 7.6% hydrogen. Determine the empirical formula and molecular formula of the compound. Determine the empirical formula and molecular formula of the compound. Molecular formula of the compound. That is the question. Now if we want to solve this type of question, then we need one table. So what is the table? So in first column we have to write the atom or element whatever are given in the compound. You can check out. One they are given as the carbon, one they are given as the hydrogen. See, the sum of their percentage is 100. That meaning not the other element is present here, only carbon and hydrogen are available here. So carbon we have first, second we have hydrogen. After that we have to write the percentage composition whatever there is given of the particular element. So the percentage of carbon there is given us 92.4. For hydrogen there is given us 7.6. After that we have to write the atomic mass of the particular element. So atomic mass we knows, atomic mass of carbon we knows 12 and hydrogen we knows 1. Now we want to find the number of moles. So how to find out the number of moles? A simple ratio. So if I want to find the number of moles, So this is the mass upon molar mass. So that much of mass of carbon is present in that solution. So in that compound. So this is the mass of the carbon because out of 192.4 gram of carbon is present. So this is the mass. So this is 92.4 upon molar mass. That means atomic mass of carbon is 12. Same is this is the mass of hydrogen 7.6. Atomic mass is 1. You solve it. So what will be coming? 12 7 ja 84. So 7 point approximately something will be coming. 12 7 ja 84. So what will be left it here? 8 are left. This is the point. Again that is 84. So 12 7 ja 84. This is, and this is coming what? 7.6. 7.6. You have seen already कि in any compound formula the number of moles, they are in a whole number, they are not in the decimal. So our duty here to both are decimal, so our duty to make it the whole number. How to make it the whole number? That will be, firstly we have to divide it by the minimum number out of these. So whatever number of moles we will getting from these, whatever minimum number of moles are there, we have to divide it by that number to everyone. So that meaning mole ratio or atomic ratio. You can write it there atomic ratio because there is the atoms. Atomic ratio. If you will do it the atomic ratio 7.7. So minimum is 7.6. 7.6 is available here and minimum is 7.6. So this is coming what? This is coming 1.01, approximately 1.01. This is coming 1. So this is also in decimal, so we have to make it the whole number. So simple whole number. Simple whole number. So what is a simple whole number? This is 1. It is already 1. Now this is the table whatever we need to solve this type of question. Our most of the part is completed. Most of the part is completed. You can check out at last what I am getting. Simple whole number ratio. This is a simple whole number ratio. So in simple whole number ratio meaning we are getting the empirical formula. How many carbon is there? 1. So we are getting the empirical formula. What we are getting? Empirical formula. Carbon is 1. Hydrogen is 1. So empirical formula is CH. So one part is completed. They are asking about the empirical formula. Now second part they are asking about the molecular formula also. So to solve the molecular formula we need the mass of empirical formula. So we have to find out the mass of empirical formula. Mass of empirical formula. The mass of empirical formula, that meaning the mass of carbon is 12, hydrogen is 1, so this is coming 13. Now one relation is there कि to find out the molecular formula. Molecular formula equal to, this is the formula, n multiply empirical formula. How to find out the n? That means number of moles. So if you want to find out the number of moles, so number of moles equal to molecular mass upon empirical formula mass. Molecular mass upon empirical formula mass. So if I will be discuss about the molecular mass, so the molecular mass there is given in the question, that is the molecular mass of an organic compound, that is 78. So that meaning this is 78 upon empirical formula mass, that we have find out from here, from their empirical formula. This is coming 13. So the value of n is what? 13 6 are 78. So value of n I am getting here 6. This is, now it is easy to find out here. Put the value of n here. So molecular formula, if I want to find, so molecular formula equal to, the formula is n into empirical formula. The value of n is 6 into empirical formula is CH. Multiply it. What you will getting? C6H6. So this is the molecular formula and its name is benzene. So this is the simple way to make the empirical formula and molecular formula from the mass percentage of the given elements in the compound. So I hope you have understand how to find out the empirical formula, how to find out the molecular formula. So one more question I am discussed with you to solve it more query. By this you will easily understand the thing. So how we will going? So I am having a question. This is and the question is there. Question is this is a very simple questions to find out the empirical and molecular formula. So the other question whatever I am discussed, that is an organic compound. Question number 2. This is an organic compound. An organic compound on analysis gave the following percentage composition. Gave the following percentage composition. Like carbon they has given us, that meaning percentage of carbon they has given us 57.8%. 57.8%. Hydrogen they has given us 3.6%. 3.6%. And they have said the rest of is oxygen. And the rest is oxygen. And they are asking about the vapor density of the compound was found to be, they are given us the vapor density of the compound is 83. Find the empirical and molecular formula of the compound. Find the empirical and molecular formula of the compound. This is the question. Now the same way again what to do? First of all we will make the table. So the carbon, so the element whatever they has given us, this is the table of element. So which element is given? Carbon, hydrogen, rest of they said oxygen. Then percentage, so what is the percentage of carbon? This is 57.8. Hydrogen 3.6. Rest of they said oxygen. So total we knows 100. So how to find out the percentage of oxygen? This is 100 minus the sum of these two. This is 57.8 plus 3.6. So that meaning 100 minus 8 or 6, 14, 4, carry 1, 7 or 3, 10 or 1, 11, carry 1, 5 or 1, 6. This is coming what? 61.4. So if you will subtract it, what you will getting it, 100 minus 61.4, this is coming 38.6. 38.6, that means this is the percent of oxygen. Now atomic mass of the particular element, carbon is 12, hydrogen is 1, oxygen is 16. After that, the number of moles of atom, if I will discuss the number of moles of atom, so this is 57.8 upon 12, 3.6 upon 1, and 38.6 upon 16. So if you will be solve it, this is the 3.6 and 57.8 divided by 12, so 12 for the 48, so it will coming 4 point something, so it is coming 4.82. same 16 to the 32, so 2 point something will be coming, this is coming 2.41. So the number of moles of atom, they are in decimal. So what to do, we have to find the mole ratio or atomic ratio or mole ratio, any one thing can be write it. So how to find out the atomic ratio? So the every number of moles is divided by the minimum number of moles. So whatever is the minimum number of moles, 2.41, that meaning 4.82 divided by 2.41, 3.60 divided by 2.41, 2.41 divided by 2.41, this is the coming 2, this is coming approximately 1.49, this is also coming 1, this is here, you can check out, this is in decimal. So I need to, so how I can make it in whole number? It's not कि 1.49 I will write 1 or I will write 2. So this is approximately 1.5. So I can multiply by 2 to make it a whole number. So I will not multiply only in this hydrogen. In all these I will multiply by 2. So if I will multiply by 2, the simple whole number ratio, what will be there if I will multiply by 2? This is 4, this is 3, this is 2. So I am getting the simple whole number ratio. It's meaning they will be give us the empirical formula. So what is the empirical formula here? Empirical formula is C4H3O2. C4H3O2. This is the empirical formula. Now need to find out the molecular formula. First point, it is clear. Now they are asking about the molecular formula. So I have told you already ki how to find out the molecular formula in the previous question. Like if I will discuss the molecular formula, so how to go for the molecular formula. Now if I want to find out the molecular formula, I need the empirical formula mass. So find out the empirical formula mass. So what will be 4 multiplied by 12 plus 3 multiplied by 1 plus 2 multiplied by 16. 12 is the mass of carbon, 1 is the mass of hydrogen, 16 is the mass of oxygen. This is coming 48 plus 3 plus 32. If you solve it, so what will be coming? 48 plus 3 plus 32, you are getting here 83. What is 83? This is the empirical formula mass. Now they are not giving us in the question molecular mass, they are giving us the vapor density. So if they are giving us the vapor density, so molecular mass equal to the formula is that 2 multiply vapor density. 2 multiply vapor density. Keep in your mind this formula also. If they are not giving you the molecular mass, they are giving you the vapor density, then molecular mass, if you want to find 2 multiply vapor density, that means 2 multiply, in the question they are giving you the vapor density is, that is 83. 2 into 83, so that is coming 2 3 is 6, 2 8 is 16, so 166. This is. Now I want to find out the molecular formula. So molecular formula is equal to what? N multiply empirical formula, number of moles I want to find. So how to find out the number of moles? Number of moles N equal to molecular mass upon empirical formula mass. Molecular mass upon empirical formula mass. Molecular mass is 166, empirical formula mass is 83. If you will solve it, that is coming 2. So the value of N is 2. So molecular formula equal to 2 multiply empirical formula. So this is 2 multiply empirical formula is C4H3O2. Solve it. 2 4 is 8. So this is C8. 2 3 is 6. H6. 2 2 is 4. O4. So C8H6O4. This is the actual formula, or you can say that this is the molecular formula of that compound. So this is a simple way to solve this type of question. I hope this category of question easily you are able to understand. There is no need to go with any other question. I hope you try to do yourself. If any doubt, then again you can consult to me. Now after this I am going with you the other topic. The other topic is, this is limiting reagent. The topic is here, this is limiting reagent. Limiting reagent. Limiting reagent. Now limiting reagent. So very simple, I want to ask about the limiting reagent. What is a limiting reagent and how to find out the limiting reagent? Anyone knows about the limiting reagent? No one. Okay, so I'm talking about the limiting reagent. How to first of all, if I will be describing the limiting reagent, then the reactant which is completely consumed when a reaction is completed. That meaning the reactant which is completely consumed when reaction is completed. When reaction is completed is known as limiting reagent. Limiting reagent. This is very simple. Suppose I am having a reactant A and B, it giving us C. Suppose when the reaction is completed, 2 moles of B is given but only 1 moles of A is there and 2 moles. Suppose you think this is the reaction. Okay, A plus B gives C. This is a 1 mole of A react with 1 mole of B, give us 1 mole of C. That is, suppose I am having now 2 moles of A, 3 moles of B and I am getting 2 moles of C. This is, now very simple is there. From the actual equation we have seen, if 1 mole of A combined with 1 mole of B, then it is giving us 1 mole of C. This is, so 2 mole of A combined with 2 mole of B, then so they will be giving us 2 mole of C. So that meaning here B is left but A is totally consumed. As the C is formed, then A is totally consumed but B is left. So A is the limiting reagent. A is the limiting reagent and that one is left, that is excess. reagent. Access reagent. This is very simple example. Now I will be discuss with you very funny example. So I hope everyone knows how to make tea. Everyone knows how to make tea. Okay. Now suppose anyone those don't know how to make tea. His mother, she is going to out of his home due to some work. She is saying if anyone will be coming, so you can make a tea and give. And she is telling him the recipe of the milk, how to make the tea. She has tell you will take 1 cup of milk and add 50 gram of sugar. 50 gram of sugar, then the tea will be ready. Suppose she has explained in this way कि if you will have add 1 cup of milk, add 50 gram of sugar and tea leaf. Suppose tea leaf is there, then 1 cup of tea will be ready. 1 cup of tea will be ready. This is now as his mother is going to outside, so 4 guests has came in his home. How many guests? 4 guests. Now the student whatever person is there at home, so he is going to make the tea. What he find कि in the fridge only 1 cup of milk is available. 1 cup of milk is available. Okay, but the sugar whatever is there, this is 500 gram, that is available at home. Tea leaves is there also. Tea leaf, whatever tea leaf you need, that is available there. So I'm not talk about this, I'm talk about only these two. Okay, so from the 1 cup of milk, how much cup of tea will be formed? Only 1 cup of tea can be formed. This is 500 gram of sugar is there. So from the 500 gram, how much cup of milk, tea will be formed? 10 cup of tea. 10 cup of tea. So sugar so it is available for 10 cup of tea, but milk is available only for 1 cup of tea. That meaning when the person is going to make the tea, so he is consume the 1 cup of tea and 50 gram of sugar. 1 cup of tea plus 50 gram of sugar the person is going to consume. After consuming, he's got it the 1 cup of tea. He got it the 1 cup of tea. That meaning the milk is so going to finish, but the sugar is left now for 50 gram. So as the tea is completed, tea is formed, so milk is going to finish, that is going to consume by as the tea is going to form, but the sugar is left. So that meaning milk is a limiting reagent which is consumed it, that is not left, but the sugar is left. So milk is the limiting reagent. That meaning it is very important point to find out the limiting reagent. What is a limiting reagent? I hope it is clear from here what is a limiting reagent. There is no doubt, I think so. Now I will be discuss you one more question, that is with that it will be easy for you how to find out the limiting reagent. Like suppose I am having when P react with Q, it will be giving us R. Okay, its meaning is there when 1 mole of P react with 1 mole of Q, giving us 1 mole of R. This is now first part of this question. They are asking a limiting reagent in the following condition. Suppose 2 moles of P react with 3 moles of Q and I am getting here 2 moles of P. Second part, suppose 4 moles of P react with 3 moles of Q, I'm getting here 3 moles of R, suppose. Third point is there, suppose 2 moles of P react with 2 moles of Q, then I'm getting here 2 moles of R. In these three, I want to discuss about the limiting reagent. What is the limiting reagent? So, how to go with that limiting reagent? Please check out. This is here. You can check out 1 mole of P when combined with 1 mole of Q, then it will be giving us 1 mole of R. This is so here 2 moles of P. 2 moles of P. It is giving here 2 moles of R. So that meaning 2 moles of P combined with 2 moles of Q, then I am getting 2 mole of R. So that meaning P is totally consumed when the R is formed, but Q is left. So the reactant which is completely consumed, that is called limiting reagent. So here which one is the limiting reagent? P is the limiting reagent. P is the limiting reagent. Now, here you can check out 4 moles of P combined with 3 moles of Q to give us 3 moles of R. You will compare the same thing. 1 mole of P combined with 1 mole of Q to give us 1 mole of R. So, 3 moles of Q combined with 3 moles of P, then to give us 3 moles of R. So here also you can check out 1 mole of P is left but Q is finished. So that meaning here Q is totally consumed. So Q is the limiting reagent. Q is the limiting reagent. Now here you can see 2 moles of P combined with 2 moles of Q give us 2 moles of R. That meaning both P and Q are totally consumed, nothing is left. That meaning no limiting reagent is present. No limiting reagent is present in this third part. So this is very simple way to identify the limiting reagent. Like this, one more question I am going to discuss with you, that is also very interesting. Like suppose I am having here a reaction is there, A plus B2, then I am getting here AB2. Now some points they are given and they are asking ki which one is the limiting reagent. Like first point is there 300 atoms of A. 300 atoms of A combined with 200 molecules of B2. Here 200 molecules of B. So they are asking ki which one is the limiting reagent. Okay. Second part they are giving us ki 2 mole of A combined with 3 mole of B. 3 mole of B. Then which one is the limiting reagent? Third point they are given 100 atoms of A. 100 atoms of A combined with 100 atoms of B. 100 atoms of B. Then which one is the limiting reagent? After that, this is not atom, this is the molecule. This is 100 molecules. Fourth point is there, suppose 5 moles of A. 5 moles of A combined with 2.5 mole of B. 2.5 mole of B. 5 mole of B. One thing you keep in your mind कि whatever is the limiting reagent, that will be decide कि how much substance is going to form. Now in the general equation I will discuss कि one atom of A combined with one molecule of B, because B2 is one molecule, then it will giving us one molecule of AB2. This is so 300 atoms of A and 200 molecule of B. So very simple is there कि 200 molecules of B that will be combined with 200 atoms of A. 200 atoms of A according to general equation कि one atom of A combined with one molecule of B, then it will be giving us one molecule of AB2. This is so same 200 molecule of B combined with 200 atoms of A. So then also we will check out कि how much atoms of A is left. 100 atoms of A is left. This is left, but B is so going to finish, that is totally consumed, nothing is left. So in first part, what will be the limiting reagent? What is going to finish? B is going to finish. So B is the limiting reagent. Here what is the limiting reagent? B is the limiting reagent and A is in excess. Same in this, if you will check out कि 2 moles of A react with 3 mole of B. This is 1 mole of A react with 1 mole of B. This is so 2 moles of A react with 2 moles of B. 2 moles of A react with 2 moles of B. Simply I can say that कि 2 mole of A react with 2 mole of B, because 1 mole of A react with 1 mole of B, then 2 mole of A react with 2 mole of B, so that is not totally consumed. But here 1 mole of B is left, so which is totally consumed, that is the limiting reagent. So which one is the limiting reagent? A is the limiting reagent. A is the limiting reagent. Now in this, one atom of A combined with one molecule of B. Here 100 atoms of A combined with 100 molecule of B. So very simple कि 100 atoms of A and 100 molecules of B both are combined. So that meaning both are totally consumed. Totally consumed. So nothing is left, neither A neither B. So that meaning no limiting reagent. No limiting reagent is available in this reaction because A and B both are totally consumed. After this you will see in the fourth part कि 5 mole of A react with 2.5 mole of B. So very simple, 1 mole of A react with 1 mole of B. So 2.5 mole of B react with 2.5 mole of A. So what is left? 2.5 mole of A. This is left and this is totally consumed. So B is totally consumed. So what can I say? कि B is a limiting reagent. B is a limiting reagent. I hope by this question it is easy for you people कि what is the limiting reagent, how to find out the limiting reagent. I think so there is no doubt in this. Now next question from the limiting reagent topic is, this is 50 kilogram of N2 and 10 kg of H2. 10 kg of H2 are mixed to produce NH3. Are mixed to produce NH3, that meaning ammonia. First point, identify the limiting reagent in this reaction. Identify the limiting reagent limiting reagent in this reaction, if any. And second point is there, calculate the ammonia formed. Calculate the NH3 formed. This is the question which is very important there. So first of all, how to find out कि whatever question is there in this limiting reagent is present or not, that I want to discuss firstly. So how I will be discuss this with you people. So first of all, write the balanced chemical equation. So solution, if I will be go, so this is N2 and H2, this is nitrogen, this is hydrogen, giving us ammonia, this is NH3. To balance, we have to multiply by 2 here, NH2 here, 2, 2 3 is 6, multiply by 3. This is. Now one trick I am going to tell you कि how to identify कि which one is the limiting reagent here. So one formula I am going to telling you. So if the stoichiometry coefficient upon stoichiometric coefficient of reactant is nitrogen upon number of moles of nitrogen, that is stoichiometric coefficient of hydrogen equal to number of moles of N2 upon number of moles of H2. If they are equal, then no limiting reagent is there. Okay, if they are not equal, stoichiometric coefficient of N2 upon stoichiometric coefficient of H2, if they are not equal to the number of moles of N2 upon the number of moles of H2, then limiting reagent is there. This is I'm not going you have to go with this question in this way. That little bit trick I am going to telling you कि how to identify the limiting reagent is present here or not. Now you can check out the stoichiometric coefficient of N2 is what? This is 1 because only 1 is mentioned here. Stoichiometric coefficient of H2 is 3, 1 upon 3. Now number of moles of N2. How to find out the number of moles of N2? Number of moles of N2 equal to mass upon molar mass. So what is the mass of N2 here? 50 kg. You convert into gram. So it should be what? 50 into 10 raised to the power 3 upon mass of N2 is what? 14 to the 28. This is, so if we will solve it, so I am getting 1 point something. This is the value is there 1.768 into 10 raised to the power 3 moles. Same I will find out the number of moles of H2. The mass of H2 is given 10 kg, that meaning 10 into 10 to the power 3 upon molar mass of H2. This is 2, 2 5s are 10. So what I am getting? 5 into 10 raised to the power 3. So this is coming 1.768 into 10 raised to the power 3 upon 5 into 10 raised to the power 3. So if you will solve it, this is not coming 3. That will be not coming 3 if you will solve it. So very simple, I can say that these are not equal. So limiting reagent is present here. Now after that our point is going to start which one is the limiting reagent in the reaction. If you will see 1 mole of N2 react with 3 mole of H2. This is, so how much mole of N2 we have? the reaction you will see कि 1 mole of N2 react with 3 mole of H2. This is, now how much mole of N2 we have? This is 1.768 into 10 raised to the power 3 mole of N2 react with, this will be 3 multiply 1.768 mole of H2. If we will solve it, what will be coming? 3 8 जा 24 का 4 carry 2, that meaning if I am solving, so this will be coming what? 3 6 जा 24, sorry 3 8 जा 24 का 4 carry 2, 3 6 जा 18, 18 और 2 20 का 0 carry 2, 3 7 जा 21 और 2 23 का 3 carry 2, 3 1 जा 3 और 2 5, 5.304, that will be the multiply, this is of 10 to the power 3 also available, into 10 raised to the power 3 mole of H2. That meaning we need that much mole of H2, but this is coming कि we need 5.304 into 10 to the power 3 mole of H2. How much mole of H2 we have? Only 5 into 10 to the power 3. That is the more, this is the less one. So what is the meaning? The meaning is this कि hydrogen is in less amount. Whatever is required, this is the 5.304. I am having only 5. So the hydrogen in less amount. So I can say that कि hydrogen is a limiting reagent. So that meaning the first point answer is there कि hydrogen is a limiting reagent here. The way I have told you how to solve. If you want, then there is no need to go with this also. If you simply knows कि this is a limiting reagent question, then so there is no need to find. But if you don't know, so this is the simple trick I have told you कि how to find out the reaction is of limiting reagent or not. So directly also you can go. Firstly you can find out the number of moles of N2, same number of moles of H2. Then compare with their original equation कि 1 mole of N2 react with 3 mole of H2. So whatever number of mole of N2 we are getting, that will be needed how much of hydrogen, that I have solved it this much. So this is more than whatever we have. That meaning whatever we have, that is in less amount. So the hydrogen is a limiting reagent. This is the first part question. I hope you understand कि how we have got it, कि which one is the limiting reagent. I think there is no doubt कि which one is the limiting reagent. Now whatever is the limiting reagent, this is the main point coming now. Whatever is the limiting reagent, that will be identify कि how much of the product will form. How much of the product will form. Keep in your mind why it is necessary to find out the limiting reagent, because whatever is the limiting reagent, that will be identify कि how much product will form. So we got it from the solution कि nitrogen is the limiting reagent. So from the nitrogen only we can find out कि how much of ammonia will be formed. Now till here I hope everyone is clear. So I am going with the second topic now. I am going with the second topic. This is कि how much of ammonia will form. How much of ammonia will form. See here कि 1 mole of N2, then how much mole of ammonia will form? 2 mole of NH3. How much mole of N2 we have? Sorry, hydrogen is the limiting reagent na, so we will compare with the hydrogen only. This is 3 mole of hydrogen, then gives 2 mole of ammonia. So how much mole of hydrogen we have? 5 into 10 raised to the power 3. So firstly 1 mole of hydrogen, then how much ammonia will form? 2/3 mole of NH3. How much we have? 5 into 10 raised to the power 3 mole of H2 we have. So this will be 2 multiply 5 into 10 raised to the power 3/3 mole of NH3 will form. This meaning 10 into 10 raised to the power 3 upon 3 mole of NH3 will form. This is, now I want to calculate the ammonia form, that much of ammonia will form if I want to convert that much of mole into mass. So very simple is there. So moles I want to convert it into mass. So how I can convert the moles into mass? That is a formula, number of moles equal to mass upon molar mass. So number of moles of ammonia is what? 10 into 10 raised to the power 3 upon 3. Mass I want to find, the molar mass of ammonia is 17. So cross multiply, 3m equal to 170 into 10 raised to the power 3. So m equal to 170 into 10 to the power 3 upon 3. Solve it. 3 5s are 15. 2 is left, 0. 3 6 are 18. Point again 2 is left, 3 6 are 18. Into 10 raised to the power 3 gram of ammonia will form, or I can say that 56.6 kilogram of NH3 will form. So this is very important question. So again I am telling you ki how to find out the ammonia form. Whatever is the limiting reagent, keep in your mind ki whatever is the limiting reagent that will be used to find the whatever amount of product will form. In this reaction we'll got it ki hydrogen is the limiting reagent. So from the hydrogen we can find out ki how much of ammonia will form. 3 mole of hydrogen, according to the general equation, 3 mole of hydrogen give 2 moles of ammonia. So 3 mole of hydrogen give us 2 mole of ammonia. 1 mole of hydrogen gives 2 upon 3 mole of ammonia. How much of hydrogen we have? We have solved it ki how much moles of hydrogen are there. We got it ki 5 into 10 to the power 3 moles of hydrogens are available here. So from this moles of hydrogen, how much of ammonia will form? That are coming the answer in mole. Now I want to convert this mole into mass. So number of moles equal to mass upon molar mass. This is the formula. So I am using here mass upon molar mass. So this is the number of moles, this is mass, this is the molar mass. So solve it. I am getting here 56.6 into 10 to the power 3 gram. If I will convert it into kilogram, so that much of kilogram is there of ammonia. So this is the way to solve a very simple question. I hope you have understand about this ki how to go with this type of question. There is no problem. Now I am going with you with the other question. I hope you are able to do this also. The second question whatever I am going to discuss with you, this is the next question is there whatever I want to discuss with you, that is, check out from here. The question is if 20 gram of calcium carbonate, if 20 gram of calcium carbonate CaCO3 is treated with 20 gram of HCl, is treated with 20 gram of HCl, then how many gram of CO2 can be produced? How many gram of CO2 can be produced? Can be produced according to the equation. Produced according to the equation. The equation they are giving you CaCO3 plus 2 HCl gives CaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2. This is the chemical equation they are giving you. Now here they are not asking about the limiting reagent, but till we don't find out ki which one is the limiting reagent, how we can solve it? How we can solve it? So there is need to find out the limiting reagent firstly. So again, the trick whatever I have told you to find out the limiting reagent, so that is stoichiometric coefficient of one reagent is calcium carbonate upon stoichiometric coefficient of HCl second reagent equal to number of moles of CaCO3 upon number of moles of HCl. If you will see, the stoichiometric coefficient of calcium carbonate is 1 because only nothing is there, upon stoichiometric coefficient of HCl is 2 equal to, now number of moles of calcium carbonate. How to find out the number of moles of calcium carbonate? This is mass upon molar mass. So what is the mass? 20 gram. Molar mass of calcium carbonate, if I will find out, what will be there? CaCO3. This is 40 plus 12 plus 16 multiply 3. So 40 plus 12 plus 48. This is coming 100. This is, so the number of moles are coming what? 0.2. This is, now same I am going to find number of moles of HCl. This is mass upon molar mass. Again, how much mass is there? 20 gram. Molar mass of HCl is H1Cl 35.5. So this is coming 36.5. If you will divide it, this is coming less than 0.2. Less than 0.2. That meaning the number of moles of this HCl is coming less than 0.2. So calcium carbonate is 0.2, and if I am going to solve it, this is point I am removing, this is 0. This is 200 divided by 365. It is not divisible, so 0.0. This will be 3 5s are 15, 3 6s are 18. If it is going 6 times, so 6 5s are 30, 0, carry 3, 6 6 are 36 or 3, 39, 9, carry 3, 6 3 are 18 or 3, 21. This is more than, so this is going 5 times. So this is coming 5 5s are 25, 5 5s are 25, 5 carry 2, 5 6 are 30 or 2, 32, carry 3, 5 3 are 15 or 3, 18. So this is coming what? 0.5 approximately, suppose. This is coming approximately 0.5. So this is 0.5 suppose. If I will putting here 0.5, these two are not equal. These two are not equal. That is of approximate. Keep in your mind, I am keeping here approximate value. So these two are not equal. So that means they are not equal. So I can say that the reaction is there related to limiting reagent. This is the way to find out the question related to limiting reagent or not. So if the question related to limiting reagent, that meaning again we need to find out the limiting reagent, which one is the limiting reagent. Check out. This is directly you can go with that also by mass, because the mass is given. If you want to go with by moles, then by moles also you can go. You can see कि 1 mole of CaCO3, how much mole of HCl is required? 2 mole of HCl according to the question. This is the mass of 1 mole of CaCO3 is what? 100 gram. So I can say that 100 gram of CaCO3 is needed. The mass of HCl is what? 36.5. So that meaning 2 multiply 36.5, or I can say that 71 gram of HCl. This is, so 1 gram of CaCO3 is needed what? 71 upon 100 gram of HCl. How much gram of CaCO3 is available here? 20 gram. So 20 gram of CaCO3 is needed. 71 multiplied 20 upon 100. So this is coming 5. So if I will solve it, this is coming 15 for the 70 point. This is 10. 14.2 gram of HCl I need it. 14.2 gram of HCl I need it, and how much of HCl is there? 20 gram. So that meaning HCl is in excess amount. HCl is in excess amount. So which one is the limiting reagent? Calcium carbonate is the limiting reagent, because in the reagent one is in excess, so other is in limiting. So we can say that calcium carbonate is a limiting reagent. Calcium carbonate is a limiting reagent here. This is the point. Now I want to find out how much gram of carbon dioxide will form. So I will be compare calcium carbonate and carbon dioxide, because calcium carbonate is a limiting reagent, and whatever is the limiting reagent, that one will be used to find out the amount of product. So if you will see here, how much gram of calcium carbonate, if I will rub it this portion, so you can check out here, this is the point, this is 100 gram of calcium carbonate, its mass is 100 gram according to the equation. Its mass, if I find out, 44 gram of carbon dioxide. So it's meaning 100 gram of calcium carbonate gives how much gram of carbon dioxide? 44 gram. This is, so 1 gram of calcium carbonate will give how much gram of carbon dioxide? 44 upon 100 gram of CO2. How much of calcium carbonate I am having? 20 gram. So 20 gram of calcium carbonate will give how much? 44 into 20 upon 100 gram of carbon dioxide. It is cancelled. 2 5s are 10. I will solve it. 5 8s are 40. 0.8, 5 8s are 40. So this is 8.8 gram of carbon dioxide gas will form by 20 gram of calcium carbonate. This is the very simple solution. If you don't want to go about this question is related to limiting reagent or not, then directly you can come from this topic also. According to the equation, 1 mole of calcium carbonate react with 2 moles of HCl. So 1 mole react with 2 mole. 1 mole meaning this is 100 gram and this is 71 gram. 100 gram will react with 71 gram of HCl. 1 gram will react with this much. 20 gram of calcium carbonate there is given. So 20 gram is needed. How much of HCl? Only 14.2 gram. We having how much? 20 gram. So that meaning HCl is in excess amount. So if HCl is in excess amount, then I can say that calcium carbonate, it is in limiting reagent. It is in limited amount. So calcium carbonate is a limiting reagent. That is. Now whatever is the limiting reagent, from that you can find out how much of product will form. So calcium carbonate is compared with the carbon dioxide. 100 gram of calcium carbonate giving 44 gram of carbon dioxide. This is 100 gram of calcium carbonate giving 44 gram of carbon dioxide. So 1 gram of calcium carbonate giving 44 upon 100. 20 gram will be giving 44 into 20 upon 100. We solve it. We are getting 8.8 gram of carbon dioxide. I hope you have understand the question related to the mole concept. I think so there is no problem with you people to solve it.